we're going to go ahead and get started here today with our Power Up webinar brought to you by Housecall, which is where I'm from. And then we have a special guest today, Ana Rivera, the CEO of the HVAC Guys. So you have an opportunity to meet our hosts. And I'll get started with myself. My name is Mary Finley. I have been at Housecall Pro for about 2.5 years in different seats, client-facing a lot with the product. And now the role that I have is Strategic Partnership Manager. And I am here with Ana, and I'll let her go ahead and introduce herself.
Hey everybody, my name is Ana Rivera. I'm the co-owner of the HVAC Guys here in Orange County, California. I'm the co-owner with my husband. We've had the business for about 6 years, and within that time, I have been very fortunate enough to have earned Entrepreneur of the Year, Woman Business Owner of the Year, many things throughout this short span. So any knowledge that I can help you guys is my gift to you guys. So I can't wait for you guys to get started.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have some great conversation ahead of us today, where you guys are going to learn about, the features, get you kind of like a blueprint to get started with Housecall and making sure that you really optimize everything that our platform can offer to you. So we'll go ahead and get started there. The first thing here that I really want to address is, Ana, how long have you been with Housecall? How long have you used our software?
It's been 6 years. So we started from the beginning. So when we first had the business, my husband would go and had like a little notepad and then write everything out. And then I would tell him, okay, like when he got home, I'd be like, so how many jobs did you go to? Where are the invoices? And they would always be lost. So I really needed to have a software that really, from start to finish, like I knew exactly what was going on. And I sat through, like, I'm not even gonna lie, like 30 different, softwares, and none of them were like specific to air conditioning and heating. It was just more about business. So, and one of the things that my husband really wanted was the marketing aspect. And nobody else had the customized postcards. And so that's the one that really sold us to Housecall Pro. So we've been here through the beginning with you guys. We've really grown with you.
Yeah, absolutely. You've seen where we started from, where we went, and now exactly where we're heading. And I think it's a really great and compelling story, because there's things in our platform that will really set you up for success. But I definitely believe that there's an order of which you should do it. So from your opinion, from your experience, if you had to start Housecall Pro all over again, what would you set up first? And then what would you move on to after that?
I think, first of all, one of the things that I would really just set up first would be like our basic information and like your terms and conditions. A lot of people miss that little part at the terms and conditions. So you have to really make sure that your customer knows, like, once you finish that job, you need to pay right away. We're not going to wait 30 days or whatever it is. So set up like the basics. Then I would definitely go into like your price list is what I would transition to. But the basic information and the price list, so you could, just really get yourself up and running.
Yeah. Speaking of the price list, is that something you created on your own? Did you have someone help you with it? Is there a place where they can go to get their own price list, or a price list, help with their price list?
So in the beginning, you guys set up like a template, right? So
Yep.
I was manually in there and I did like a couple of things, but then we went into the Facebook group, and then somebody on the Facebook group is actually the one who gave us the outline. So then what I did is I printed it all out, and then it was like a lot of pages. I think it was like 15 pages, but I made my husband sit there and cross out what didn't pertain to our business. And then we left some of the things, like we didn't do duct cleaning in the beginning. But I left it there because I knew that was a goal that eventually we were going to do. So I left it there. And then we went through one by one because he's the one who sets up all the prices. So I made him like, okay, you have to sit down here. You have to give me all the prices. And then I manually went in there, made it all look nice, add the pictures and everything. And it is a commitment, guys. Like, it's not easy. Trust me. Like, the prices is the one thing people get stuck on. And so I definitely would say that to take the time, go on the Facebook group, see if somebody could help you and get that price list and move on from there.
And a price according to where you service, not where anyone else services, right? Like that's their, that's their like average income of their clients and all of that. So make sure that you do it to your service radius. Is that another piece of advice you think makes a big difference?
Definitely. Like, so it's like when you go to school, right? If somebody lets you copy their homework, you're not going to do word for word. You have to switch it out to what makes sense for you and price yourself right. I feel like in the beginning, we just shortchanged ourselves with so many things. Like we would do like a free diagnostic. And if I go back and I see, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so much money. Like, and then we used to do like, okay, I'm going to charge you $49.99 for an assessment and diagnostic fee. And then the customer would be like, oh, well, will you waive it if we get that, repair done with you? And we would be like, yes. So starting 2019, we stopped that because we saw the numbers. We saw that we lost a lot of money because we would waive that fee. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you add it up at the end of the year, you do that. And I know a lot of people, like, it's always like, okay, do you waive it? Do you not? We set ourselves up so the customer knows from the beginning. We charge $89.99 to come out. I say we charge $89.99 to send a licensed professional to your doorstep to diagnose and assess your system. Once the technician is done, he'll give you the options, what's best for you. And so then that sets us up for like, okay, cool. They know exactly what they're doing. They're sending a professional to my home and it sets you up. So don't shortchange yourself because, I don't know if you guys are just starting your business or if you're just starting with Housecall Pro. But I know you guys are starting with Housecall Pro, but I mean like your business, if you guys have already been in business, but now that you have the software, make sure that you guys do that fee so the customer knows exactly what you're coming out to do and you don't lose out on that money.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good point to make because that's something I hear asked a lot is, do you do free diagnostic? Do you charge for it? That's the age-old question that everyone's trying to solve. So that's some really great advice, especially as someone who kind of started from scratch herself. So that's really, really great. Cool. So if you had to describe what a perfect job setup in Housecall Pro is, what elements would you make sure were there on every single job and or estimate?
So one of the things that I feel like people really don't pay attention to is the option of the tags. The tags, if you do it from the beginning, it's going to set you up for success because you're going to know, and there's 2 different tags, okay? So when a customer first calls in, like have your dispatcher, if you're answering the phone, who may I thank for referring you? And they're going to say, oh, I found you on Yelp. Oh, my neighbor, Ms. Jones sent me. So then, in that tag, it was a referral from Ms. Jones. And so then at the end of the year, you're going to see like, oh my gosh, like, and you could, do the report and you see like, oh my gosh, Ms. Jones sent me like 50 customers. So then you know that you should send her like a nice Christmas basket at the end of the year, right? And then there's the different job tag of the job. So I feel like a lot of people don't miss that step, and you don't know if this was a tune-up, if this was a repair, if this was a new install. So it's really important to have those job tags in the beginning so you have that information.
Yeah, absolutely. As someone who trained a good handful of our existing pros, I would hammer home almost more importantly than the scheduling and the dispatching about the tagging, because if you start with tagging in the beginning, it then becomes a second nature and it can really offer you some really great business insight. So you talk about tagging the customer, you talk about tagging the job. What can you do with those tags? Are you able to run reports with those? Do you do marketing campaigns? Talk to me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, definitely. So I make sure that, like I said, at the end of the year, or it's actually, you know what, now I do every quarter, I run the report to see where my jobs are coming from. Because at the beginning we did like Yelp, right? We paid into Yelp, and then we weren't getting customers from Yelp. We did Angie's List. For sure, we were not getting our money back from Angie's List. So it was really important for me to see where it was that all our jobs were coming from. So I did run the list. And then for the jobs, it's really important because you have to know, like, say if you do a new install, right? Then I put like new install 2019. So then I run the report, and then I know, okay, I have to make sure that next year I follow up with those customers. If we don't have them in a maintenance plan, then I have to make sure, like, why didn't we sell them a maintenance plan? And we need to get back in that door to do the tune-up. So that's the two things that you could do with the reports that I think is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. They definitely help you with understanding your business, understanding your marketing spend and how you're gaining new business, and then also how you are interacting with existing customers as well. So perfect. Also, I think something else to really notate here, I want to get back to what you said in the beginning, was you were looking for a platform that also had a marketing aspect to it. And that is definitely something that Housecall Pro can help you with. So we have email and postcard marketing. So do you concentrate more on postcard or on email, or a combination of the two?
Combination of the two, definitely. So the postcards, I love doing, like, so if there's like a tag, if there's like say if the homeowner really loves dogs, then we put like dog lover. And so that's a tag, right? So then on National Love Your Dog Day, because my husband's a big dog lover, so he loves dogs, right? So National Love Your Dog Day, we'll send them a postcard. Different little tags like that you could do with the marketing. For the email marketing, what I do is I made sure that I set it up for like before we go to the call, we have it set up what to expect. And so one of the things that I have is like, what did I write? Like I said, like, before a technician shows up to your house, please have the following. So for us, it's very important to have a clear access, especially right now with COVID, have clear access to the unit. So, before we would show up to a person's house and they would have like boxes in front of the furnace and everything. So before we show up, we send an email letting them know, please have these things in order to help our customer, our technician once they show up to your house. Or sometimes they wouldn't even know where their furnace was, because like big houses, they're like, I don't know, I just moved in, I didn't even know I had a furnace. So we said, please make sure you know the location of your furnace so we're not losing time. And then after the call, after we finish everything, right, you go start to finish on the call, then I have it set up for 3 days later for them to say like, how was your experience? Please give us a call if you're not 100% satisfied. And then I have like a link so that they could review us. So that's how I have it set up on the automated email.
Yeah, you've really thought of everything from start to finish. Customer communication is like key in successful HVAC companies as well. Do your customers ever like comment or ever give you feedback or reviews about the text messaging that they get and how informed they stay while you guys are performing the work?
So when I answer the phone, I make sure that my girl that is answering the phones or if I answer the phone, I let the customer know exactly what is going to happen. So I will tell them, okay, I'm gonna ask you a set of questions, like your basic information, and then I'm gonna ask you the COVID safety questions, right? And then I tell them, okay, once I get all the information, and then I tell you, okay, Mary, your appointment is going to be done, whatever. So then I make sure that I let them know, okay, you will be receiving a text messaging confirming your appointment. Once my technician is on his way, you will be receiving another text message letting you know that the technician is on his way. And so then I tell them, then you're going to get all the notifications that they get. So I walk them through it so they already know what to expect. And in the 6 years, I've never had anybody complain that it was too much communication. They're very happy with the communication. And I feel like right now that with the COVID, everything that we went through last year, it was one of our best years yet. And I think it set us up because Housecall Pro had for, I think it was 6 months, we had everyday training, just giving you ideas and ideas. And that stuff is still on the YouTube channel. So if you guys want to go back and look at that YouTube channel. But one of the things that I did was I made a checklist of COVID-19 safety questions. And I let the customer know what exactly was going on. And you guys, I know it's a lot. I know how you said, I set everything up and I thought of everything, but this is 6 years of having to do it. And if I may, just share a little bit of the story of my friends that left and came back. Can I do that real quick?
Yeah, please. Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to share with you guys. I have an air conditioning friends, right, that they joined Housecall Pro. And they didn't listen to they weren't on a webinar. So I want to congratulate you guys for even being here and learning, because they didn't join any of the webinars. They didn't watch any of the videos, and they just wanted everything to just fall into the computer and help their business run. And it doesn't work that way. They didn't want to do the work. So they left. But we used to have these meetups, and they would come and they would learn different things every single month. And then once I told them, I'll help you, let me show you, because they were only doing things on paper and losing everything. They were losing so much money because they would go to an estimate and they'll tell, okay, Mr. Jones, I'll get back to you with the estimate. And they would lose that customer because they would forget, they would get too busy. And so then they rejoined Housecall. And I helped them set up, their system, and I walked them through it, and they started watching the videos, and they're like, oh, wow, I didn't even know we could do this. And for me, that is one of the biggest things that my advice for you guys is to take the time to set things up. We have a Facebook group that you could ask anything, but before you do, go to the little thing, see whatever question you have, and I bet you it's already been asked. So go on there, look, and then look through all the information, because that's 6 years of information that is on there. So, and now they're very happy. They're not leaving anywhere, but that's just one of my little things that I wanted to make sure I told you guys.
Yeah, that's really important. Her top tip is take time to customize your account for your business now. And with something I'll add to that is it'll pay off in the long run. If you don't do it now, then you're going to constantly be backtracking. If you don't add the tags today, you're going to have to go back and add tags later on. If you don't set up your email and postcard marketing campaigns, that's something you're going to have to do when you're up to over your head in work. And so that's the biggest thing, her top tip here. And before we kind of wrap up the conversation and go into the questions and answers, I wanted to kind of point out specific features that Housecall Pro offers that you think are more tailored to the HVAC industry. Something more I know you mentioned your checklists, and then we recently released something called property profiles. So do you think there are any other features that are HVAC specific that they should be concentrating on setting up as well?
Your maintenance agreements. So, it depends. We have two. We have a complete system tune-up, or two, one in the spring and one in the fall. So those recurring maintenance agreements are so important. That's one of the things that's going to set you apart from everybody else and keep that revenue coming in. I think that's super important. And then making sure that you have your estimates in order. So when you go into a home and say that you you're selling just one specific brand, then you have whatever you want, better, best, or, you know, those three. Or if you want whatever options you're offering the customers, like make sure that you already have that set up. So like that, when you go into a home, you present your options and you sell it right away. Because if you sell it right away, if you send it to the customer, they approve the estimate, you convert it into an invoice, you get your deposit, and you're golden. You're already set for success. So I think that those are the ones that I would say. There's so many, so many.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, I think that a reoccurring maintenance, your estimates, have that in
Yeah,
order.
estimate options are like gold, right? You don't want to just assume they want one. You can give them, choices to choose from. And, sometimes Mrs. Jones may be interested in getting the best of the best, so she doesn't have to deal with this same process, sooner than later. So I'm really glad that you brought attention to that approach. And that is an option within Housecall Pro. You can add multiple options, or depending on the plan type that you have, we also have a sales proposal tool there as well. And from just real quick, a quick experience I have with HVAC customers as well, one of our newer features here is the property profile. So you're actually able to go in and track all of the equipment in your customers' homes. So then you're really informed when you're scheduling the next call. When you go there to the next time, you can track install date, and then you can associate it to a maintenance plan or a specific job. And then we track your last service date. So you're going to get a lot of great information to run reports on, to make sure that you're consistently going into these customers' homes, which is something Ana mentioned about the tagging feature. So we're going to go ahead and open up we're going to switch gears here and then talk about our support resources. I know when you get up and running, it can be very intimidating. And where do you go to get help? Where do you go to get answers? So the first thing that I want to talk about is your help center. So in the upper right-hand corner of your account, there's going to be a question mark. You can click the question mark and then hit Visit Help Center, and we have a plethora of articles that you can search our knowledge base from, something as simple as scheduling, dispatching, and collecting payments, to setting up recurring maintenance agreements, and we even give you some templates to get started there. Then we have live chat, which is actually here 7 days a week, 13 hours a day, starting at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we don't end until 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. So that's a really great resource. And I mentioned our online community. So we have a Facebook group of 10,000 plus home service business owners. And we also have one specific to our lady pros as well. And then we have a resource center. So housecallpro.com/resources, free articles, templates, e-booklets, and really other great resources that are tailored to the HVAC industry. And on your side, any other options that you feel like they could lean on as they get up and running?
I think this covers it, but definitely I would say check out the Facebook group. It has so much information in there. It's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to turn I'm going to field questions. So right now we have one question coming in so far. So guys, don't be shy. This is a really good opportunity to talk to Ana, to talk with me, and to get up and running. So one question is, how do you notify a customer about a change in schedule? And this is from Advanced since 1989. And basically how that happens, I'm speak from my perspective, and then I'll give Ana a chance to operate as well. You can make changes directly on the schedule. When you make changes to their time and date, the system will ask you if you want to notify the customer, and you can do that, and we'll send them another text message or another email letting them know of the changes.
Yeah, definitely. So she's asking how to do it, or like?
Yep, the question was, how do you notify a customer about a change in schedule? Pretty much covers it, but didn't know if you had any additional insight.
We always call right away when we know like there's going to be a change in the schedule. And the good thing is like also, now is like you said, like the customer will get a notification that there was a change in the schedule. So there's times like you could check the little mark and say like notify or unnotify, because sometimes you already talked to them and you're like, okay, I'm going to change the appointment. They don't have to get another notification. So I unclick it sometimes.
Yeah, that's really good advice, because there you do run the risk of over communicating, which is something that we want to be cognitive of as well. So great question on that. I think that's a really important thing to know as well. Moving on to our second question from Raymond McCarthy. I think this was more directed towards you, Anna, but do you work for warranty companies, and do they merge with Housecall Pro?
Yes. So we don't anymore. That's a whole other topic. But when we started, we did, and so how we did it is on Housecall Pro, on the profile, I put like First American Home Warranty, and then it gives you like an option like the billing. So then I would put the billing name, and then in the billing name we put the person who is the homeowner with all the information. So it says, so how you would set it up on Housecall Pro, I'm looking at it right now. It's like the billing, and then it's the home warranty, and then it's the customer, the contact is the customer. So, and with the home warranty, those of you that are working with them, document would be like my biggest thing. So on Housecall Pro, there's you could add pictures to the invoice. You could, if you want to write notes or something, do the attachments. Make sure that you cover yourself all the way around. So yes, you can do that. It does merge.
Yeah, absolutely. Good question, Raymond. I know that one comes up a lot in the HVAC industry. The next question here is from Cosmin Bogdan. Is it true that Housecall is working with the new Flat Rate, which is a company, on integrating them into Housecall? I'll take the lead on this one. Basically, we are working on updating our price book and working on updating it to allow companies like the new Flat Rate to integrate with Housecall. So it is something that on our radar. It is something that we want to accomplish because we know how important it is for you guys as well. So the answer is yes. I'm just not going to give you an ETA as I'm not privy to that information. More so a support question here, but I'll take a stab at it from Anthony Dixon. I was using another program prior to Housecall Pro. It migrated all of my unsent invoices into Housecall. How can I remove those without sending them again? So there's a couple different ways that this could have happened, but it depends on where you're seeing them at, depending on where you want to quote unquote remove them from. And so it also depends on the state of that invoice, right? If do you just need to mark it as paid, and then if you mark it as paid, then it won't be considered unsent anymore. But this is a question that has a very layered answer to it. I want to make sure I'm pushing you in the right direction, Anthony. So I would definitely reach out to the Blue Chat Bubble, who will be able to help you on a more real-time basis with follow-up questions you may have. Great question, though. It looks like maybe Pete had a question. If you want to type in the question and answer box, that I will be able to approach it that way. And then from here, really, I wait just a couple more minutes for anyone who else wants to ask any questions. Or if Anna wants to give a little bit more insight or anything else,
from the start to finish, like where we are now, I just want to tell you guys, like Housecall Pro is constantly evolving, just like all of us should. And so always keep up with like if they send you an email or if you are on Facebook, and then like, because it's pretty cool. I think that, you know, we're with a company who really supports us. They, you know, before COVID, we used to host like big mastermind events, and you guys, Housecall Pro wouldn't make like a profit off of these. Like they would charge like maybe 30-40 bucks, I forgot what it was, to go to these events. And you guys would feed us, and like it was always about learning. And then you guys transitioned to the meetups, and then we would, you know, see each other like once a month. And just to make it clear, like I want you guys to know, like I don't work for Housecall Pro. I don't get paid for these things. Like I do it from my heart because I know what it is to start from a software. I know what it is to be super overwhelmed with so many things, and you're like, oh, I have to like do like a new email or I have to do this. But like I said, my biggest advice was take it slow, scratch out some time, and then just get it done, because once you get it done, your life is going to be so much easier. I promise.
Absolutely. That's really great. I think taking advantage of the community, taking advantage of other HVAC owners and operators like yourself, and just learning from each other. That's something that you guys are in the car all day long, typically by yourself, and there's not another community out there that's going to invest in you, and Housecall has built that. So even if you're not an active Facebook user, I'd recommend reactivating that account, joining the Housecall Pros group, because she is right. People are in there to help you learn, help you guys get your questions answered. Actually, while she was talking, there's two more questions that came in. I'm going to take these last two, and then we're actually going to tie up today's webinar, as I'm sure you guys are extremely busy there. So Pete asked, need help setting up new tech users? There is help in the help center on that, but you basically would go to your picture or your initials, you hit into account settings, and then you click into employees. You'll add the new employee from there. Depending on the user type, they're going to have different permissions. We give you a little bit information bubble next to each of those permissions to completely understand what that or doesn't do. So I would recommend going there on that side, or actually getting into the help center, and we define them a little bit greater there. And then, all right, so are any YouTube's videos on tags? I'm not quite sure if there's specific YouTube videos on tags, but there's definitely help desk articles about them. And the Facebook group is where I learned how people are using our tags the most. So you can search our Facebook group, type in tagging, and people are like, I'm an HVAC, what tag should I use? People are more than happy to help you in that direction. And then Anthony asked a really good question. Anna, how did you incorporate Housecall Pro into your website?
So like the technical part, we just, oh, that's super good. I'm glad you guys asked that. So for us, it's really important like to do the book online. For us, it was so important because it just makes your life so much easier when you book online, and it's so customized. Like I don't book any calls on Fridays, for like people can't book on Fridays. So it's like super customized. So how we did it is I'll turn my, see how you see my website. So if you go here, can you see it, Mary?
Yep.
Okay. So then I just go here, book online, and it takes me to my Housecall Pro book online. And it's super easy. Like I only have this like duct cleaning, AC tune-up. I don't know what's wrong with my AC, a free estimate, my furnace dispatch. I don't know what's wrong with my furnace tune-up. Super easy, not overwhelmed. And that's how I did mine. I did it super easy. I don't want my customers to be too overwhelmed. I know that we have a couple of HVAC people who actually put their systems on there, everything that they do, which I love. Maybe someday I'll do that. But right now it's super clear, super. And I'm pretty sure you could find that like how to do it on the YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And there's, we make it, we make it pretty easy. We give you a script. All you have to do is copy that script, paste it to a website manager, and they're going to be able to hop in and help you. So there's not a lot. You can almost outsource that technical aspect of it.
Right.
Great. Like online booking is like a whole conversation in itself. Definitely something that I encourage you guys to book. We have stats that 30% of people book online after hours. So imagine getting 30% more business while you're, with your family, enjoying sports games, out to dinner, watching a movie. It do the work for you. I know Anna told me one time that she was able to go on vacation because she had online booking. So if you haven't taken a vacation, online booking is the way to do it. And then I want to just make sure everyone's questions are answered. So I got the last one coming in here. What is the easiest way to transfer my customers' information from old paper invoices to Housecall Pro?
There's no easy way.
It is going to be pretty manual, time consuming, but what I recommend doing, Cosmin, is taking it piece by piece and breaking it down and understanding, okay, maybe I only put in the people I've serviced within the last 2 years. And then if someone I've serviced within 3 years or greater calls in, then I can just go ahead and add them in as a brand new employee as they come up. That's kind of the approach that we take because I don't want that to prevent you from getting started. And you can always add them in as time goes on or next time they reach out to you, as opposed to doing it all. And it seems like a very daunting task.
But, I think that too, like right now, if you have, I don't know if you have kids or maybe a neighbor or somebody who doesn't have a job or like has downtime, they could do it for you. It's super easy. I have my 11-year-old who helps me. If I have like, sometimes I'll be like somewhere and I just write down the customer's information. I'll have him go into a Housecall Pro and add the customer for me. So it's super easy. Like I'm telling you, my 11-year-old could do it. So don't do it yourself. If you don't have time, have somebody else do it. Find somebody, pay them something, buy them Starbucks. I don't know. But trust me, once you get it done, then you'll be able to you'll thrive because you'll have that list digital form. So good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hire college kid, whatever it takes. Great. And then where I'm going to wrap it up with, it's not an actual question, it's actually a comment from someone here. It's like, just wanted to say that I remember Anna from the Lady Pros Mastermind and wanted to say that I appreciate and admire her so much. Thank you so much for sharing your insight. So look at you, you got a fan club here, Anna.
Oh, I love you guys. It's Housecall Pro is more than just a software. I feel like we're a family. We all grow together. We all learn together. And just like with any family, I think that we all should grow together. So I'm always here. You guys find me on Facebook, send me a message, anything that I can do to help. Like I would love to help you guys. I feel like if I'm thriving, you're going to be thriving. And like I always say, we can do it all. We just can't do it all at the same time, and we can't do it alone.
Yep, absolutely. That's some really good advice. So wanted to thank you guys all for joining me today, including yourself, Anna. I know time is money in this industry. So taking the time to learn about how others are doing it, and then obviously how to be the best and most successful using our platform is going to be extremely vital to your success as a business and within our platform. You will be getting an email this week with a recording of this. So I know some of you may have had to step away, but you can always tune in at your, maybe on a Friday night when you don't have anything else to do. You can rewatch our webinar here. And I just really look forward to all of your success, and really hope today was helpful in pushing you guys in the right direction.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. We're going to go ahead and end it. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Anna. Thank you.